Peregrine Falcons have been nesting up on one downtown Rochester building or another since 1998. For a long time in a nesting box up on top of the Kodak Tower on State Street, and more recently in a box high up on the Times Square building at Exchange and Broad. The species was nearly wiped out in the 20th century, not by hunters, but by DDT. Now they've come back so successfully that the neighborhood is getting crowded for the falcons, which like their elbow room. And so Rochester area bird enthusiasts have been watching a sort of avian soap opera this spring in the skies over downtown. It's a story of relationships, a fight for prime real estate, suffering, and even tragic death. June Summers is president of the Genesee Valley Audubon Society. She says the drama started when a falcon named Unity decided the nesting box on the Times Square building looked better than her old perch. Trouble was, the box was already occupied by a peregrine named Beauty, resident since 2009.
Unity, a female that had been nesting at Kodak Park, decided she wanted the penthouse nest box on the Times Square building, and she came downtown and fought with Beauty, who occupied that box and the territory, and she fought with Beauty and injured Beauty badly, and Beauty was picked up by animal control and taken to a veterinarian where she was taken care of and rehabbed for a very long period of time.
The resident male falcon, named Archer, returned from winter migration to find Unity in possession. But that apparently was fine by him.
In 2011, he had actually mated with Unity out at Kodak Park and mated with Beauty here at Times Square. And that was very stressful because Peregrine Falcons really tend to be monogamous, and so in 2011 neither female had eggs that hatched.
Things appeared to be settled, but then Archer showed up at the nest box, and falcon watchers on the ground could see his legs appeared to be injured. Archer stayed with Unity, although he appeared to be in pain. Unity laid an egg, but then Archer vanished. Nobody knows what happened. By now, Beauty was healed and released from wildlife rehabilitation at the Montezuma Wetland Complex. She comes back into the story later. But at this point, June Summers says another character enters the drama.
Another male flew in, and he flew directly into the nest box. And by the time that happened, Unity had laid an egg. And we all gasped.
The new male falcon began bonding with Unity. From his band, observers could tell he was hatched in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada, and his name was .ca, like the ending of a Canadian internet address, .com, .gov, .ca, but with the dot spelled out, .ca. And wait, there's more. The falcon watchers soon saw another falcon, this one a young female, and she was a troublemaker. She began fighting Unity and .ca for the nest box. And now tragedy struck again. On April 6th, Unity caught a pigeon and landed on Broad Street while struggling to subdue it, and there she was run over and killed by a car. Just a few hours later, Beauty found her way back to Rochester and flew into what she still thinks is her nest box.
It almost appeared as though when Beauty met Dacia looked at Beauty and said, "What have you done with Unity?" And Beauty looked at Dacia and said, "What have you done with Archer?" And they have not gotten along at all because they both have claimed the nesting territory and consider each to be an invader.
It's been a battle for the box since then between .ca and the young female on one hand and Beauty on the other. The late Unity's egg remains ignored by the other falcons, and probably it will never hatch. Who knows what comes next? You can keep up with this at the Rochester Falcon Cam website. The still photos of the players in this tale of intrigue and the time-lapse of a falcon's day can be seen there. 5 cameras are aimed at the nest box, and falcon watchers are usually on duty and tweeting about what they see. And so the show goes on.